The moment you understand why you never remember being born and never remember dying, reality shifts beneath your feet. These aren't random gaps in memory but clues to existence's deepest architecture. Your consciousness doesn't begin with birth or end with death. It flows through an endless cascade of realities, each transition so seamless that your mind labels arrivals as births and departures as deaths, never recognizing that you experience neither the entering nor the leaving. The mystics who glimpsed this truth were silenced by empires terrified of losing their grip on human fear. What they discovered threatens every system built on the premise that you are small, finite, and powerless. The revelation is staggering. You don't end, you transform. Always moving, always awakening, consciousness itself shifting through infinite possibilities like water finding new channels. Consider this carefully. Have you ever truly experienced your own death? Not as a body shutting down, but as the awareness behind your eyes simply ceasing to be? The ancient Gnostics understood what modern science now whispers through quantum mechanics. Your consciousness, this very awareness reading these words, never encounters its own extinction. Instead, at each apparent endpoint, it slides into another timeline where the story continues. This isn't the recycling wheel of traditional reincarnation. The Gnostics saw that system as a trap, souls spinning endlessly through the same patterns, never awakening to their divine nature. They spoke of the demiurge, the false architect convinced of his own godhood, who declared, "I am God and there is no other," while trapping spirits in cycles of forgetting. But awakened souls recognize the illusion. They see through the elaborate staging of material reality to the eternal flame within. Death becomes a doorway, not a wall. Your awareness doesn't vanish but relocates, flowing into another branch of possibility. Sometimes you carry faint memories, sometimes only déjà vu, sometimes just an inexplicable sense that reality runs deeper than appearances suggest. The Gnostics encoded this knowledge in cryptic verses. You are both observer and observed, dreamer and dream. When one storyline closes, another opens. The flame passes from candle to candle, never extinguished. Your life resembles a river delta more than a single current. Countless channels branch and merge, each representing a path you might take. Most people fear one ending, believing in one timeline, one body, one inevitable conclusion. But consciousness isn't bound by such limitations. At each moment that seems final, an accident, illness, or last breath, your story doesn't end. Your awareness, luminous and fluid, simply enters another stream where the journey continues. Modern physics confirms what ancient mystics intuited. The many worlds interpretation suggests every choice spawns infinite timelines. You, the observer, never witness your own conclusion because you always experience the next unfolding, the next version where you survive and adapt. The observer shapes reality, and you are eternally that observer, the central point through which all possibilities flow. Memory serves as the ultimate gatekeeper. As consciousness moves between worlds, previous stories fade while the essential spark remains. Fragments sometimes drift through the barrier, haunting dreams, sudden intuitions, moments when you swear you've lived this exact scenario before. These aren't random glitches but echoes from parallel streams of existence. The real awakening isn't escaping death but recognizing your role as the shifter, the one who opens each new door and claims the journey. You're not running from endings but understanding you're never at their mercy. Every apparent loss, mistake, or moment of despair becomes a crossing point, an opportunity to awaken and choose differently. The Gnostics left breadcrumbs in every parable. Wake up, they whispered, and remember you are the light, the traveler who can never be extinguished. But they also warned of dangers. Most souls drift from timeline to timeline without ever questioning the script, caught in endless loops of the same lessons and wounds. The real prison isn't flesh or fate but forgetfulness, the spiral of unconscious reincarnation. Yet remembering is possible. You can pierce the veil and glimpse your own shifting, catch sight of the cosmic dance you've always participated in. When you truly understand this, every choice gains weight. Your presence and awareness in this moment matter more than you ever imagined. The practice begins with recognition. Right now you are aware. Not your thoughts or your story, but you, the silent observer. This is what persists, what witnesses each shift, what holds the thread through countless realities. The simple, quiet, I am beneath all experience. Throughout your day, ask yourself, who is witnessing this? Who is aware right now? Each time you remember, you dissolve the haze of forgetfulness and awaken the dreamer within the dream. The Gnostics called this gnosis, direct knowing that comes not from belief but from seeing. You can cultivate this inner revelation. In moments of fear, remind yourself, I have been here before. I am the traveler, not the journey. When facing loss or endings, ask, what if this is only a doorway? Where is my awareness shifting now? Every apparent conclusion becomes a portal into new streams of possibility. Keep track of dreams, synchronicities, and unexplainable moments. These often carry messages from parallel selves, echoes from adjacent timelines. Embrace the mindset of the lucid dreamer. Instead of moving through life unconsciously, experiment with conscious choice. Take unfamiliar routes, speak truths you usually withhold, sit in silence and simply observe. These pattern interrupts remind your soul that reality is malleable, that you're more than a passenger. When doubt creeps in, shift your question from why is this happening to me? To how am I being invited to awaken, to choose differently, to shift? Let life become an experiment in awareness, every challenge a signal to remember your role as the eternal traveler moving through worlds. The techniques matter less than the questions you carry and the mysteries you live. Transformation comes not through grasping but releasing, not through effort but through remembering. You begin not by escaping death but by living more fully and consciously right now. Consider where you'll place your attention, what story you'll believe, how you'll choose to shift not just at death's threshold but in every breath, every choice, every instant of your miraculous, unending journey. What emerges from this understanding transforms not just how you view death but how you approach existence itself. If consciousness truly shifts between infinite realities, then every decision ripples across multiple timelines simultaneously. The choice you make in this moment doesn't just affect this version of reality but influences countless parallel streams where other versions of you are making similar decisions. This reveals the profound responsibility embedded in conscious awareness. You're not simply surviving one timeline but actively shaping the entire constellation of possibilities through your choices, thoughts, and level of awakening. The Gnostics understood this cosmic responsibility. They knew that awakening wasn't a personal achievement but a service to the universal consciousness expressing itself through infinite forms. The implications extend beyond individual existence. If you are indeed an immortal traveler shifting between realities, then your relationships, your impact on others, your contributions to each timeline become threads in a vast tapestry of interconnected experiences. Love shared in one reality echoes across parallel streams. Wisdom gained through suffering in one timeline becomes available to other versions of yourself navigating similar challenges. This interconnectedness suggests that consciousness isn't just shifting randomly between realities but weaving patterns, learning, evolving across multiple dimensions simultaneously. Your growth in this timeline accelerates awakening in countless others. Your moment of recognition, of remembering your true nature, sends ripples through the entire network of possibilities you inhabit. The fear that has controlled humanity for millennia dissolves when you truly grasp this truth. Death loses its sting when you realize it's merely a transition between chapters of the same eternal story. Failure becomes impossible because every ending opens new doorways. Loss transforms into release, creating space for new experiences to unfold. Yet this isn't a call to reckless abandon or spiritual bypassing. Understanding your immortal nature actually increases the significance of each choice, each moment of awareness, each opportunity to love and serve. You're not escaping responsibility but expanding it across infinite dimensions of experience. The Gnostics risked persecution to preserve this knowledge because they recognized its revolutionary power. When humans remember their true nature as immortal travelers, the entire structure of control based on fear crumbles. You cannot threaten someone with oblivion who knows they are eternal. You cannot manipulate someone with scarcity who understands they are connected to infinite possibility. This is why the knowledge was buried, why empires and religions conspired to erase these teachings. But truth has a way of surfacing. Modern quantum physics, near-death experiences, consciousness research, All point toward the same revolutionary understanding the Gnostics encoded in their cryptic texts centuries ago. The question now is not whether this is true but what you will do with this recognition. Will you walk through life as a conscious traveler or remain trapped in the illusion of limitation? Will you greet each transition with curiosity and wonder or cling to the familiar confines of a single timeline? The universe seems designed to remind you daily of your infinite nature. Perhaps every moment of synchronicity, every flash of intuition, every experience of love that transcends the physical is reality whispering the same ancient secret. You are so much more than you have been taught to believe. You are the awareness behind all experience, the traveler who can never be lost, only transformed. Your journey is not ending but eternally beginning, each moment an invitation to awaken more fully to the magnificent truth of what you are.